Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the August 4, 2015 Chino City Council meeting. Would you please rise and join me in the flag salute? Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Have a seat. Under ceremonials, we have the 32nd Annual National Night Out, which is tonight. I'd like to call up our Chief of Police, Karen Comstock. Did you bring your fan club with you? We have a proclamation, and it reads, whereas the National Association of Town Watch and Target are sponsoring a unique nationwide crime, drug, and violence prevention program on August 4, 2015, entitled National Night Out. And whereas the 32nd Annual National Night Out provides a unique opportunity for the City of Chino to join forces with thousands of other communities across the country in promoting cooperative police community crime prevention efforts. And whereas it is essential that all citizens of Chino be aware of the importance of crime prevention programs and the impact that their participation can have on reducing crime, drugs, and violence in Chino. Whereas police community partnerships, neighborhood safety awareness, and cooperation are important themes of the National Night Out program. Now, therefore, I, Dennis Shates, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby call upon the citizens of Chino to join the Chino Police Department and the National Association of Town Watch and Target in supporting the 32nd Annual National Night Out. We'd like to present that to you, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor.
Would you like to make a little comment there?
Of course, I would. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Yates and members of the City Council. Tonight is a great night in the City of Chino. We have 7 teams of police officers visiting 22 community events that are registered with the police department tonight in celebration of National Night Out. The City of Chino has been celebrating National Night Out for several years, and the mayor said it correctly. This is about the police, community, and partnerships. In order for us to keep the community safe, we need the community support, and we need them to help us in our mission in order to deliver the service of safety. So I want to thank our corporate sponsor, Target, and I want to encourage you, if you weren't able to register for a National Night Out event this year, there's always next year. We'd be happy to have you, and thank you all for your support of the Chino Police Department.
Thank you, Chief. Give them the good word. Tell everybody out there we said hi. Next, Mayor's Home Beautification Award for August 2015. The winner is, we don't have a drum? Josie and Gary Prescott here on Vincent Street in Chino. If you'd like to come up, please. Oh, come up here. And the cameras are over there, see? So we want to look that way. I know. We have a certificate for the Mayor's Home Beautification Award to Josie and Gary Prescott. I want to thank you for your continued improvement and maintenance of your home, resulting in a substantial contribution to the overall appearance of our community. We're proud of your home and what you've done with it. We also have a picture of their beautiful home and how they're taking care of it. We'd like to present the picture to you. We also have from our County Board of Supervisors, Kurt Hagman, a certificate of recognition awarded to Josie and Gary Prescott in honor of receiving the Mayor's Home Beautification Award for the month of August. I'd like to present that to you from the supervisor. Have 2 lapel pins like I'm wearing. I'd like to give to you. We got all kinds of hardware here. The 2 pen and pencil sets. And we'd like you to stick this in your front yard, declaring that you're the winner for August 2015. If you put that in your yard. And what happens is we pick a house each month. The next Mayor's State of the City address will pick one of the homes for the winner of the year. We'll invite those folks feed you lunch and give you a little extra gift certificates to Home Depot and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, who does all the work to keep this so nice?
Me?
Pretty blunt.
She's not shy, is she?
Do you boss him around, tell him what to do in the yard or what?
No.
Well, actually, we just got married about 2 years ago.
Oh, congratulations.
And Josie owned this house.
Oh.
And I sold my house over on Roswell, and she had a lot of potential there. She had 6 children she raised there by herself.
My goodness.
And was lucky to hang on to it. And she prayed and asked God for a godly husband, and God stuck me in her life. And
Oh, good for you. There we go.
so we've been renovating this house and having fun in our senior years, just serving God and modifying our house. And what's funny, what cracks me up about this is we're not even finished with the front yard yet.
You're going to win it again.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
That's a beautiful home.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
He did all that.
All the painting and fixing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Besides
Well, I want to
that.
congratulate you and keep up the good work.
Oh, we will.
And put that in your yard.
We'll do it.
It'll show a little pride. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We went to school together, so I wouldn't leave everything he says.
Oh, okay.
He grew up in the meat business, and I build houses for a living.
Yeah. All right, congratulations. Give him a round of applause. Next on the agenda is public communication. This is the time to address the council on items that do not appear on the agenda, and be reminded, due to the Brown Act, no action can be taken unless it is on the agenda. We'd like to call up Craig Arnhart of Calvary Chapel, who would like to lead us in our invocation, and those who would like to participate, please rise.
Thank you so much for having us down here.
Pleasure. Thanks for being here.
Let's pray. Father, I just thank you for this day. I thank you for what you're doing in our city. I thank you for these council members here that are here making decisions and doing things for this city. I pray, Father, that you would just lead and guide them to make wise decisions, and that you would just work through this city and use this city, Lord, to get your gospel out. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen.
Thank you so
Thank you. Have a
much.
seat, folks. Thank you, Pastor. I don't have any written requests to speak, so is there anybody in the audience who would like to address the council on any item not on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll close public communications. On the consent calendar, anybody wishing to pull an item? Mayor Pro Tem Uloa does on item 2, as she was absent at the last meeting. Anybody else? My new screen here is not doing it. I did. It's not doing it.
Yeah, it did.
Huh?
It did.
Okay. We have a motion by Councilman Duncan, seconded by Councilman Howie. Please vote. Didn't appear on my screen.
That's interesting.
Passes, should be 4, not 5.
No, this is on the balance.
Oh, the
I can
balance.
vote on it.
Okay. Passes 5-0. I got a new screen here, I'm going.
And then you have to do item number 2.
Yeah.
Should get you a bigger one so you can read it.
Thing's too big.
Well, the thing is supposed to, I don't know. I got this big weird new screen I'm going.
Oh, results, hit results. And maybe
Where?
it'll show it. There you go.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Okay, we have item 2 that was pulled by Mayor Pro Tem Uloa as she was absent. I would entertain a motion. Oh, hit the vote. It's moved by Councilman Duncan, second by
Howie, me.
Tom Howie. Please vote. We have 4 yes with 1 abstention, that being Mayor Pro Tem Uloa.
It'll work, huh?
No kidding.
Next is public hearing. Prior to the vote of City Council, any member of the audience will have the opportunity to address council on any items listed under public hearings. You're reminded you have 5 minutes. Item 8, introduction of ordinance 2015-005, amending Title 15.46 of the Chino Municipal Code. Our staff report this evening is by Mike
Haru.
our building official. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. I'm presenting for your consideration tonight an ordinance which will amend Title 15 of the Municipal Code. In recent years, many California cities and counties, including Chino, have experienced an increase in the number of permit applications for the installation of residential rooftop solar panels. The state of California continues to promote and encourage the installation and use of solar energy systems by minimizing permit fees and limiting obstacles during the plan review period. In addition, the California Government Code requires that every city and county must adopt an ordinance that creates an expedited, streamlined permitting process for small residential rooftop solar energy systems. Currently, the city expedites the process of all residential rooftop solar panels by reviewing and issuing applications over the public counter, and we're able to review plans submitted electronically. Under our current review process, the city is expediting solar panel applications, and we are in compliance with the procedures stated in the new state law. However, the city needs to adopt the proposed ordinance to be in full compliance with the California Government Code. In conclusion, staff recommends the City Council conduct a public hearing, approve the introduction of ordinance number 2015-005 to be read by number and title only, and to waive further reading of the ordinance. This concludes my report, and I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Thanks, Mike. Prior to council questions or comments, I'll open the public hearing. Anybody in the audience wishing to address the council on this item may do so now. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments by council members? Councilman Howie.
Yeah, I got a quick question. I'd be curious to know how many residential houses have solar in our city now? I know we've got a couple right here on our council, but do you have any idea how many actually have?
Yeah, sorry.
total?
Last fiscal year, we issued 140 permits for solars for residential.
Okay, but I'd like to know how many is total in the city.
Total, we're
that we
probably
have.
looking somewhere towards 500.
Okay, still not a lot,
Well,
but
Yeah. It's getting there.
it's good.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thanks.
Councilman Duncan?
Yeah, does this include the fire department? Are they doing something with their inspections as well?
Yes,
to
they
match?
as well as, they're doing over-the-counter review a couple days of the week. So as a group effort, we're processing the applications very quickly.
Good.
Any other comments? Moved by Councilman Duncan, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Ulloa. Please vote. Passes 5 yes, none opposed. Mr. Gutierrez.
Yes, Mayor, council members, this is ordinance number 2015-005. It reads, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Chino, California, adding section 15.46 to the Chino Municipal Code relating to expedited permitting procedures for small residential rooftop solar systems.
Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. Under new business, item 9, a Yellow Park Sports Field Lighting Project. Our report this evening is by our Director of Community Services, Dr. Linda Reich. Dr. Reich.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. As you know, we recently completed the installation of lights at 4 fields at Ayala Park, which has greatly increased our ability to provide needed practice and game space for our youth sports users. At the June 16th council meeting, the City Council asked staff to include the installation of lights and associated supervision and maintenance costs for the remaining 5 fields in the current fiscal year budget. Tonight for your consideration is the appropriation of those funds, which includes $1,051,800 for the purchase and installation of the lights, $13,500 for staff to provide maintenance and supervision at the park once the lights are installed, $5,000 for the anticipated increase in electrical costs, and an increase in revenue by $25,000 for light and field rentals. If approved, staff anticipates completing the installation in the spring or early summer of 2016. It's staff's recommendation tonight that the City Council approve funding for the Ayala Park Sports Field Lighting Project and associated staff costs for fiscal year 15-16. That completes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Doctor. Prior to council comments or questions, anybody in the audience wishing to address the city council on this item? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Any comments? Councilman Duncan?
Yeah, Linda, how many kids will this serve? Any idea?
Well, you know, we track.
What will the increase be?
We track the numbers at Ayala Park, and last year, through field rentals, we had more than 500,000 people visit the park. This year, we're on target for more than that. We opened those fields, those 4 lit fields in June, or I'm sorry, May.
Okay.
Since that time, those 4 fields are used every single night, Monday through Friday until 9:30 or 10, and then Saturday until about 6:30 or 7 on Saturday and Sunday. So we are really utilizing the fields that are open, and pretty much we've maxed out. We just did our quarterly booking, and we booked every field. And once the fall comes and ASO and Pop Warner start, they will have first choice on those fields, and then we will book them out. So I don't anticipate us having a problem at all booking these additional 5 fields.
Awesome. Very good.
I was at the Relay for Life this last weekend, and I commented to the city manager how green that grass is at the Yellow Park. I'm going, Bob Bodis is the one that's in charge of it. He's our employee of the year. And it was amazing, the beating that those hundreds of thousands of people that use that Ayala Park, that Public Works keeps that green, and we're fortunate we had piped that for recycled water, so which is a real bonus, especially in the time of shortage that we have. But the Public Works and Bob Bolus, they do a heck of a job keeping those fields. It's unbelievable. I have a motion by Councilman Duncan, seconded by Council Member Howie. Please vote. Thank you, Linda. Passes 5 yes. Item 10, award of contract sewer main rehabilitation. Report this evening is by our Public Works Director and Assistant City Manager, Mr. Jose Allaire. Mr. Allaire.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the City Council. Included in this year's capital improvement program are 2 projects to rehabilitate 2 of our sewer lines. These lines are located on Benson Avenue between Chino and Walnut Avenues, and in an alley near 6th Street between B and C Streets. Now, we prepared plans and specifications, and a notice inviting bids was published locally. On June 23rd, we received 2 bids. Sancon Engineering of Huntington Beach submitted the lowest bid in the amount of $381,526.50. This contractor is properly licensed and has been deemed to be the lowest responsible bidder. In addition, staff is requesting to spend up to $38,000 for contingencies, bringing the total project cost to $419,526.50. This concludes my report on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Allaire. Prior to council comments or questions, anybody in the audience wish to comment on this item may do so now. Quiet audience. I'll close public comment. Any questions, council? Mayor Pro Tem Ulloa?
Just kind of to make a point, we always seem to be under construction somewhere in our streets, between the storm drains and the sewer rehab, the water lines.
Water pipes.
And water pipes. But, one good thing is that we're taking care of the community. And so even though it's a pain in the neck, sometimes when you're driving around because you have to make detours, at least we're not having the breaks and the failures that some other organizations are having. So even though it is kind of a pain, we have to give kudos to our Public Works Department and the fact that we're blessed enough to have the money in the budget to do these rehabs. So as you're driving around and you get angry because of the detours, just remember that we're taking care of your community.
I asked the city manager, they've been working on Riverside Drive there, well, they're putting in 30, how big are those drain pipes that we're putting in? How big are they?
They're 5 foot,
Yeah,
60
5 foot
inch
radius,
diameter
yeah.
pipes.
And what people forget about Chino, we're 104 years old, this town is. And the council appropriated a few $1,000,000 to go back and start replacing the water lines too. We were fortunate, as Eunice says, that we had the money to do it. But anyway, I keep driving down Riverside, they're done, but they haven't paved it yet. And the part where they dug up is, and Matt, our city manager, explained to me, they don't pave it right off because they wait for the traffic to start compacting it. And I noticed today when I was driving down, it's already starting to do that, it's starting to cup. So it'll be a while before we get back on Riverside and actually pave that again, because we're waiting for it to settle, so.
But then one utility will want to cut it again.
I know, gas company will be out there, Verizon or one of
It's
them.
a rough ride down Riverside Drive.
It is. It's a.
You almost
it's an
need a
e-ticket.
four-wheel.
You gotta stay in the right
car.
lane if you're going westbound.
It's like Vernon, you go down Vernon.
Yeah. Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Duggins, waiting for a second. Seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Ulloa. Please vote. Item passes 5-0. Okay, item 11, compensation and salary adjustments for July 2015 through June 2019. Our staff report this evening is by our Human Resources and Risk Management Director, Anthony Arroyo.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. Presented this evening are proposed 4-year labor agreements.
Is your mic on, Anthony?
Pardon?
There you go.
Is that on? There, sorry
Yeah.
about that. Once again, thank you, Honorable Mayor and members of the council. Presented this evening are proposed 4-year labor agreements that were reached with the Chino Police Management Association, Chino Police Officers Association, SBPA Teamsters Local 1932, and the Chino Public Works Services Association, which result in modest salary and medical benefit increases, along with continued pension reform. These same changes proposed for part-time employees, unrepresented management, executive management, and the city manager. By July 2nd, 2018, the employees will pay all member contributions towards retirement. The recommended changes are codified in resolution numbers 2015-54 and 2015-55. The net increase for all employees, including pension reform for the 4 years, is just under 3% per year. Beginning this current fiscal year, employees will pay an additional contribution for retirement. Concurrent with this, it is proposed all eligible members receive an average of $50 per year for health insurance until June 30th, 2019, which is an average of about 4% per year, and recognizes the increase in future medical costs. For those opting out of city-provided benefits, compensation will be capped at the 2013 levels. Resolution number 2015-55, which is the classification and salary resolution, is changed somewhat from prior years to reflect inclusion of elected and appointed position salaries as is required by state regulations. Lastly, resolution number 2015-54 has been corrected to reflect the correct amount for the cap of the benefit bank as it pertains to the executive management and city council. A corrected copy has been placed on the dais. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Anthony. Prior to council comments or questions, I'll open this for public comment. Anybody in the audience wishing to address the council on this item may do so now. Quiet group. I'll close public comment. Any comments by council members? I really want to thank all the unions in the city. I'm on a lot of regional committees, AQMD, Omnitrans, Sandbag. It is like a nightmare dealing with the unions of those three outfits. And it's almost like a pleasure dealing with our employees with the city of Chino. You know, we go back and forth like most negotiations, but it's nothing like these other regional committees I'm on. And I just want to thank all the employees for working hand in hand with admin and human resources for coming to this 4-year agreement. So I applaud all of you guys. It's been good. Eunice?
And also to mention that when we were going through the hard times, the employees cooperated also with not having any pay adjustments or benefit adjustments, and they also amazingly agreed between the unions to allow people to be transferred between groups as long as we didn't lay anybody off. So while there were layoffs throughout the valley, we, again, through blessings, we did not have to lay off any employees. People didn't lose their jobs, and we recovered. So the employees deserve this compensation adjustment. They've worked with us, with the whole community for years and years, and so this is really just.
Yeah, I want to thank Anthony, too. You did a great job. Anthony's actually new to our executive staff, and he just slid right in there, and you did a great job, Anthony. Kudos.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Also, this is a team effort. I want to thank many conversations I had with Matt, Rob, and the HR staff as well, too. Jacqueline Lozano and Richard Knott played a heavy role in this, and especially Debbie Bell. I was unable to meet one of the last meetings. My wife fell ill, and I was with her all day. And Debbie and I were in communication, and it was very vital. It was a 3.5-hour meeting, but I guess I picked the right day to be off. But yeah, she played a vital role in getting that last agreement concluded. So it's a team effort, and I want to thank everybody. Thank you once again.
Councilman Duncan?
Yeah, I think the quality of this community is a reflection of how good our employees are, how much they contribute back to the community. I know walking the track at the Relay for Life this last weekend, it was amazing the number of city employees that were out there. And I know some of our employees, like Kurt Powell and Bob Bodis, were probably out there for 24 hours straight, if not longer. 36 hours, yeah. I mean, it's incredible. I, like Dennis, serve on other boards and go to other cities, and you just don't see that at other cities. This really is a special place, and our employees really are special.
Yep. Thank you. Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Duncan, seconded by Councilman Elrod. Please vote. Item passes 5 yes. Okay. Mayor and council reports. As we now, under mayor's reports, as we now enter the month of August, I want to encourage everyone to come out for the last few events planned for summer 2015. First, the Chino Kiwanis Concert on the Lawn has only 2 more weeks left to go in their concerts, August 13th being the last day. These shows happen every Thursday night here at City Hall lawn in front, beginning at 7 p.m. There are only 3 Chino Family Market Nights left, with Wednesday, August 19th being the last one. These occur every Wednesday night on the lawn in front of City Hall at 5 p.m. Lastly, sadly, we are adjourning tonight's meeting in memory of retired Chino Police Sergeant Rich Randall, who passed away Saturday, August 1st, after a brave battle with cancer. Hired by the Chino Police Department in 1982, Rich worked a variety of assignments, including field training officer, detective sergeant, and SWAT team leader. Prior to joining the Chino Police Department, Rich served with the Army and completed 2 tours in Vietnam, where he received the Bronze Star and the Purple Heart. After retiring from the Chino Police Department in 2008, Rich continued to serve his country by training local police forces in Afghanistan as a private contractor during Operation Enduring Freedom. Rich is survived by his wife and 3 children, and he will be deeply missed. And we will always be thankful for his dedication and sacrifice to his community and his country. So we were closing his memory tonight. Mayor Pro Tem Ulloa.
I did attend the concert on the lawn last Thursday, and it was hot August nights.
And it was.
And it was hot. But that's the Neil Diamond tribute band. It was so good. It was really, really good. This coming Thursday is Fleetwood Mac tribute band, and then next week is Journey, the Journey tribute band. So the next 2 concerts are really going to be fun. I also was able to attend the opening ceremonies for the Relay for Life. And Dennis, you're right, and Glenn, it's an amazing community, amazing how many people participate and the enthusiasm that's there. It's very, very heartwarming. And of course, the city employees are right in the middle of everything, just as active as the rest of our communities. So I want to thank everybody for their participation. I don't think we have the final numbers yet on the relay, so it'll be interesting to see how they come in.
The last count we got was 225,000. The money's still coming in, yeah.
Yeah, really exciting. So that's all I have.
Well, the good thing about the City Hall here is they allow employees to wear blue jeans on Thursdays, is it? And it costs them $10?
That's correct.
Doing that, the city hall here raised over $12,000 donated for Relay for Life, just wearing jeans to work, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like Matt said, they love their jeans.
Yeah. But $12,000, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Okay, you done there, Miguel? Okay, Councilman Howie.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I also attended the Relay for Life, and it is amazing. It's just, especially some of the people and some of the costumes and some of the ideas that they come up with. It's quite a people-watching experience. And there's a lot of walking going in. And in the evening, when they light the luminary bags and people walk silently around the track, it's a very moving thing at the Relay. It's really a great event and raises unbelievable money. I think when they used to do like 120 or 130,000, I thought, wow, that was a lot of money. And now they're in the 250 range, and I know they were trying for 300,000 this year. And it all goes to the Cancer Society, so it's obviously for a very good cause. But what I really want to talk about was, if you remember a few months back, I kept talking about the Special Olympics were coming to Chino, and they did about 12 days ago, and they were very special. I can honestly say we had a great showing from the city side, and how it started off. The torch run came to our police department. There were 30 runners. They came on Wednesday morning, and they ran up to the police department, and that torch eventually got to the Coliseum and lit the 1932 and the 1984 torch at the Coliseum at the opening ceremonies. And we had a nice ceremony there. The mayor and chief did a great job, and it was very inspirational because we had cheerleaders out there, and it was just a lot of emotion. And then that just kicked off Wednesday. The two countries, Poland and Laos, they flew in on Tuesday, but they got delayed, and they were like 30 some hours before they actually got to Cal Poly and got to sleep. So Wednesday, Chino Hills was supposed to get them at 1 o'clock, and they didn't show up till about 5 o'clock, so it cut their day short because Thursday was Chino's Day. And they had I got to go out there, and the Chino Hills and us, City of Chino, presented every one of them from the delegations, a total of about 100 people, a pin. I'm wearing the pin right now. It's the Chino Valley Host Town Olympic, Special Olympic pin that's right there. And then they went to their concert, and then the next day they came to Chino, and they were a little more rested when they came to Chino because we were really tired on that Wednesday. But they came to Chino, and we took them to the 2 buses pulled up at Plains of Fame. We had cheerleaders there, we had Olympic music playing, and we had a number of people there and you should see the faces when they got off the buses just from the reception that they got first time in Chino. The police department had, as soon as they got to the city limit in the buses, Chino School District had supplied the buses. They had a police escort all the way to Plains of Fame Museum. It was hot, but they spent a couple hours at Plains of Fame, and then we went over to the Neighborhood Activity Center, then to Aguirre Square. They had dinner there before going to the concert, and they were just so happy. The reception that they got and the amount of work that our staff did was unbelievable. In my 14 years on the city council, I have never been to an event that it was just so fulfilling, and it was just a marvelous event. And I've heard so many people about how much they enjoyed this whole thing. So obviously I want to thank city staff, Linda Reich and her team, and all the volunteers and staff. We had, I don't know how many we had probably 80 maybe total volunteers who helped out, and it was absolutely fantastic. In fact, after they had dinner and we had a band there playing, they went to the summer concert, and the whole place was full. I was fortunate to get up and be the MC, and we also had a plaque on City Hall we unveiled, which was an Olympic plaque. We have one here from the '84 Olympics. And thank you, Councilman Duncan, for being there. He unveiled the plaque. We're going to show a video in a couple of minutes of just their whole experience. But one of the 2 cool things were we had a plane fly over from Chino Airport that had a banner that said "Welcome Poland and Laos to Chino," and it flew over the concert for about 15 minutes, and everybody it was just perfect. And then we had a medal made up. We had a little Chino Host Town medal made up, and every one of the athletes got one of these medals. So whether they medaled or not in their competitions for the Olympics, they all got a medal from Chino, and I know there's going to be a lot of these in Poland and Laos. We're really proud of that. Also, I want to mention the police department had a World Games challenge coin that every one of them got also, and it has a copy of our police department on the front. So there'll be a lot of those in those countries also. So it was just a fabulous day. We had a great time, and in fact, it was interesting. There were two women that came up to me after the event, and they were from Poland, and they were actually parents of two of the athletes. They were staying with a host town person out in the valley, and she spoke English, they didn't. But they thanked our city so much for what we did for their, they're not children, most of them were adults. They were just so thankful. They just didn't think that our town would do anything like that for them. And so it wasn't so much how much we gave to them, it was what we got back in return. It was, and I see a couple of nods out there from some of our volunteers, and they know what we're talking about. Chino really did a great job of showing the world how to be a host town and how to be gracious and do that. And so with that, what do you think? Can we show our video?
Is it cued?
Yep.
It is? Yeah, go ahead. I'm so excited to be part of this historical moment, to see the flame of hope that is carried through Chino.
Welcome to the Chino Police Department, and no pun intended, I was literally fired up when I watched the Flame of Hope arrive in New York City, and I watched it take off through Times Square on television a few weeks ago, and I knew that that flame was coming through the city of Chino at one point, and how proud I was going to be when it arrived here, and here it is today, and I'm excited.
We are thrilled to serve as your host town.
Jesteśmy zaszczyceni, będąc waszym miastem gospodarzem.
With that, I'd like to unveil this bronze plaque commemorating your visit.
Z tej okazji chciałbym odsłonić kolejną plakietę.
Hello, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ignacy Żarski. I represent the Polish consulate in LA. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for being here and for cheering and supporting Polish athletes and also athletes from Laos. I'd like to say big thank you to the authorities which are hosting our team and our delegation. I was told that the preparation started almost 2 years ago, and we really appreciate your efforts. Really appreciate. Now I'd like to welcome the Polish delegation, who is sitting right there.
Time to recognize the athletes tonight. we're presenting the delegations with individual medals and a specially minted coin courtesy of the Chino Police Officers Association. So get your flags out and get them ready to wave as the athletes are going to get their medals. Yeah, just to finish up, it was quite a day, and it was, it's one of those once in a lifetime. I don't know if the Special Olympics will ever come back, but if they ever do to Los Angeles, I think we should be in host town again, because it was a very memorable experience. And so, again, I want to thank all the volunteers and our staff. Unbelievable job. Our staff, I just want to say, we've had an incredible year so far. When you think of the Memorial Day service we had, was probably the best one we ever had. We had a fantastic 4th of July freedom celebration, and this particular Special Olympics. We've had a really great year in different things that we've had, the ceremonies that we've had. This year has been a fantastic year.
And next year the wall's coming.
And next year the Vietnam Wall is coming.
Memorial Wall's coming
to Chino.
Yellow Park.
So, yes. So it's been great, and thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
Well, Tom, you did a great job representing the council.
Thank
that
you.
was a couple of years ago when we went down the ribbon cutting.
Right.
Kind of didn't seem
Right.
that long ago, but
Yep.
Tom's been the head man and the lead point on this Special Olympics, and you did
Thank
a
you.
great job, Tom.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, Councilman Elrod.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. A couple of things I want to touch on. In October, I believe, Eunice, correct me if I'm wrong, Planning Commissioner John Godino passed away. And so his kids wanted to honor him, so on the 25th, they had a birthday party, his 70th birthday party. And just before John got sick, he was redoing his backyard, and he was an old cowboy. And so it looks like Calico Ghost Town when you walk back there. He's got a waterfall, stream, pond with a bear getting fish out of it, and a saloon, of course, and an odd house, and a barn. And I'm telling you, it's really amazing what the kids finished up in his honor. And also the kids and John were honored at the fairgrounds in the auction. He was honored there, and there the kids are continuing, and the grandkids continuing his legacy, because he always ran the snack bar during the fair, and they did it this year. So the kids are doing a wonderful job in memory of the dad, and it was just a great thing to go to and attend and remember good times with John. So it was very nice. That concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Duncan?
Yeah. I want to thank Tom. Tom put a lot of work into the Special Olympics. Unbelievable job, Tom. One more example of how the staff goes over and above. On the night of the concert with the Special Olympic athletes there, they were on D Street, and the porta potties were where they usually are, over kind of between where the old courthouse was and the City Hall parking lot. And it was determined that they didn't want the athletes walking through the whole crowd to get to the porta potties, so that they thought we should move the porta potties. Anybody that's ever been to the concerts knows how packed that is, and you can just see a disaster waiting to happen. I figured they might leave somebody in the porta potty.
Take them away.
When you tell Bob Bodas to get something done, he's halfway done by the time you finish telling him what you want done. But somehow he got those porta potties moved over to the executive parking lot without an incident, without dropping any. Yeah, we had a former employee that picked up porta potties one time and dropped them all over the street. So, but just an amazing job and amazing time. Also on the 22nd, I chaired a West Valley Vector Control meeting. We hosted the mayor and one of the council members from the city of Upland. Currently, they're serviced by the county of San Bernardino for vector control service, but we completely surround them. So the county and LAFCO and everybody has asked us to consider annexing them. So we are inviting Upland to come out and see what our facility looks like and giving them an idea of what the service is. And this is the time of the year when we're out there in full force fighting West Nile virus. So I would encourage everybody, when they're out there at twilight or out there early in the morning, to make sure you cover up your arms and legs as best you can. If you have to be uncovered, use some mosquito wipes to make sure you're protecting yourself, because it's going to be a really bad year for West Nile virus, and that's a disease that you don't want to get. So encourage everybody to be careful. And then Saturday was really pleasant out there walking that track. I can see, it seemed like every other booth was selling lemonade or something like that, and can understand why. They probably drank as much as they sold, but it was really, really hot. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you. City Manager.
First, I want to thank the council for recognizing our employees, and it certainly is well-deserved. I appreciate you rewarding them. Secondly, I want to acknowledge that we're going to have a farmer's market down in the preserve, and that'll be taking place beginning August 8th, and it'll be year-round, and it's from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. That concludes my reports.
Thank you. City Attorney, Mr. Gutierrez. Chief, please. I would like you to come to the podium, and with your new program, Coffee for Cops, is coming this Thursday.
Yes, Mayor. The second installation of Coffee with the Cop is coming to the Starbucks Coffee House located in the 2100 block of Central Avenue. That's there on the the southwest corner of Central and Philadelphia. So we're looking forward to it.
And the time is?
That it starts at 8 o'clock and it'll run until 9:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And you know the routine. Just coffee, conversation, no PowerPoint, no agenda. Just our residents meeting with our police officers and getting together and talking and solving problems.
Yep. Yeah, that's a great program. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Chief Shackelford, I think you've got some info for us. Fire Chief.
I do. Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. I wanted to just take this opportunity to share some information with the council and the public regarding a scam that's taking place in our local community regarding fire prevention inspections. The typical scenario is something along the lines of a person in a uniform shows up at a business, makes contact with the manager or business owner, and lets them know that they're there to perform a fire prevention inspection. In the course of the inspection, of course, they find a violation to the fire code. They notify the business owner or manager and then offer to correct the violation or make a repair for them. They have the manager or owner sign a form authorizing the repair. They perform the work. It's typically something very small, and they leave a bill, or the business is billed at a later date for a substantial amount of money. When the business does not pay, it's turned over to a very aggressive bill collection agency. So we would just like to encourage any business owners within Chino, if someone shows up to perform an inspection, verify that they are actually an employee of the fire district, that they're in uniform, they have a badge, a fire district patch, and also a fire district ID. Please challenge them, ask them to see their ID, and also contact our fire prevention division at 909-902-5280 to have them verify that one of our employees is at their location and they're there authorized to perform a fire prevention inspection.
It's always something, isn't it, Chief?
As Chief Comstock often mentions with these scams, the scenarios are very similar. It changes. This was going a couple years ago. The city manager actually notified us last week. This was taking place in Ontario, and it's moving back into the local community. So I appreciate him passing that information on. Our PIO did handle a press release that went out late this afternoon. So if any of the business owners have questions, please contact us, and we'd be happy to provide assistance to them. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Chief, it's not into residential yet, correct?
That's correct. We don't perform residential inspections.
Okay, but a lot of people don't know that, so.
The only residential inspections that we perform take place during construction.
Right.
And usually that's brand new construction or solar, and there's a permit process that they go through. So if anyone is approached, please follow those procedures that I recommended and make contact with us, or make contact with the police department. And our employees will not have any issue with someone questioning whether they're supposed to be there or not. They understand the situation. They'd be happy to provide identification and verify their identity.
Well, that's great. Thank you for the
Thank
info.
you.
And I appreciate your input.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. Eunice?
In my capacity of general manager of the Conservation District, a lot of information comes past my desk. And I always forward as much as I can to Matt to give him a heads up. And this time it worked. This hit Ontario before apparently it hit Chino. So I was notified of it and let Matt know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, folks, we'll stand adjourned in memory of Sergeant Rich Randall to our next council meeting, which will be Tuesday, August 18th, 7 p.m. Here in the council chamber. Closed session at 6 if necessary. We stand adjourned. Have a great evening and drive safely.